Soapdish is a 1991 comedy film which tells a backstage story of the cast and crew of a popular fictional television soap opera. It stars Sally Field as an aging soap star, joined by Kevin Kline, Robert Downey Jr., Elizabeth Shue, Whoopi Goldberg, Terry Hatcher, Kathy Moriarty, Gary Marshall, Kathy Najimy, and Carrie Fisher, as well as cameo appearances by TV personalities like Lisa Gibbons, John Tesh, real-life soap opera actors Stephen Nichols and Finola Hughes, and Ben Stein. Kline was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Motion Picture Musical or Comedy for the film. Soapdish was directed by Michael Hoffman, from a screenplay by Robert Harling and Andrew Bergman. The film was produced by Aaron Speaking and Field's then-husband Alan Greisman, and executive produced by Herbert Ross. Plot: Celeste Talbot, the longtime star of the daytime drama The Sun Also Sets, is targeted by her ambitious co-star Montana Moorhead. Montana connives to supplant Celeste as the show's star by promising sexual favors to its producer, David Seaton Barnes. To make the audience hate Celeste's character, Montana and David come up with a last-minute plot change in which she will accidentally kill a young, destitute deaf-mute, played by the newly cast Laurie Craven. Despite the strong objections of head writer Rose Schwartz and Celeste herself, the scene plays out, but is interrupted by Celeste's recognition of Laurie as her real-life niece. Network honcho Edmund Edwards sees potential in the relationship and makes Laurie a regular cast member. Montana and David seek to further unnerve Celeste by bringing back Jeffrey Anderson, an actor who Celeste arranged to be fired from The Sun Also Sets decades before, after his romantic relationship with Celeste went sour. Bitter at being reduced to performing dinner theater for uninterested seniors in Florida, Jeffrey relishes the chance to needle Celeste. Outwardly despising Jeffrey but perhaps still harboring some feelings for him, Celeste becomes unhinged when Jeffrey and Laurie seem to be about to begin a romantic relationship, seemingly from jealousy. However, when Laurie and Jeffrey are about it and act a scripted on-screen kiss, Celeste stops them by revealing that Laurie is actually her daughter by Jeffrey. On camera, Celeste explains that she was responsible for getting Jeffrey fired because she was distraught about the pregnancy. Then she went home, passed Laurie off as her niece, and had her parents raise Laurie, all due to pressure from the network. This incites disgust and scorn from nearly everyone on the show towards Celeste, but the scandal ignites renewed interest in the show, causing the ratings to skyrocket. A board meeting between the show's staff, including Rose, who speaks out in Celeste's defense, takes place thereafter, where David insists that she be fired, but he is quickly overruled as the situation has not only resulted in positive press for the show, but has generated a great deal of public sympathy for Celeste. The next day, after an unpleasant exchange with Laurie, Celeste goes to Jeffrey and pleads with him to speak to Laurie on her behalf. Jeffrey is resistant at first, but after Celeste gives him advice on how to approach her and break the ice, the conversation leads to Celeste and Jeffrey embracing. Just when it seems the two are about to reconcile, Montana interrupts them and claims that she and Jeffrey slept together the previous night. Disgusted, Celeste storms off, leaving the situation between her and Jeffrey even worse than before. The dilemma is further inflamed when Rose, who by now is no longer angry with Celeste, shows her a tabloid newspaper proclaiming that Montana is pregnant with Jeffrey's child. After an explosive exchange between the three of them takes place over this, Celeste, Jeffrey and Laurie go to the head of the network with their concerns and demand that some action must be taken to solve the problem. But it's Laurie who delivers an ultimatum stating, "It's them or me that is the bottom line here. They go or I go." A decision is made by the network, and the actors head into a live episode still not knowing who will be written off the show. They will read their lines from a teleprompter so that the secret will be kept until the last minute. It is revealed that Laurie's character has brain fever, and will die, still hoping to be rid of Celeste. Montana ad-libs and suggests that a brain transplant can save her. Laurie is shocked by the revelation, but in character, Celeste immediately plays along, offering her own brain for the operation. Touched by the sacrifice, Laurie asks Celeste and Jeffrey not to leave the show, and softens to her newfound parents. Montana, desperate to stop them, reiterates that she is pregnant with Jeffrey's child, but she is publicly ruined by Rose who, with the help of vengeful Ariel Maloney, who wanted Jeffrey for herself, reveals the secret from the high school yearbook that Montana is actually a transsexual named Milton Moorhead. David is shocked and Montana flees the set, screaming in horror. Later, Celeste, Jeffrey, and Laurie win soap opera awards while Montana is relegated to performing dinner theater at Jeffrey's former venue. Cast: Sally Fields as Celeste Talbot, Maggie. Kevin Kline as Jeffrey Anderson, Dr. Rod Randall. Robert Downey, Jr. as David Seaton Barnes. Kathy Moriarty as Montana Moorhead, Nurse Nan. Elizabeth Shue as Laurie Craven. Angelique. Whoopi Goldberg as Rose Schwartz. Carrie Fisher as Betsy Faye Sharon. Gary Marshall as Edmund Edwards. Terry Hatcher as Ariel Maloney, Dr. Monaco de Monaco. Kathy Najimy as Tawny Miller. Paul Johansson as Blair Brennan, Bolt. Sheila Kelly as Fran. Reception: Soapdish received mostly good reviews, and has a 69% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Rita Kempley, writing for The Washington Post, called it pure joy, a lemon-fresh spoof of daytime drama that does the dishing and may even soften your hands. An uproarious look behind the scenes of a fictional soap opera. It soaks the conventions of the genre with unfailing zest to leave a shine so bright you can see your face in it, art mirroring life and all that. Roger Ebert gave the film 3.5 stars and called it the kind of movie that is a balancing act. Really, Entertainment Weekly critic Owen Gleiberman gave it a letter grade of C and said that it makes the tackiness of soap opera seem far more desperate than funny. American Film Institute recognition AFI's 100 Years, 100 Laughs nominated stage adaptation. It was announced that Soapdish will be adapted into a musical, a reading for which will take place in late October 2012. Harling will adapt his screenplay for the book, with music by George Stiles and lyrics by Anthony Drew. The reading will be directed by Rob Ashford with actors Kristen Chenoweth, John Stamos, Jane Krakowski, Christine Milioti, Anel, Nathan, Michael Park, Miriam Shaw and Daniel Torres in the cast.